Hi, I'm Chris Muchler, fractional CTO and principal enterprise architect from Virtual Elephant Consulting. And I'm here to talk to you today about how you can be leveraging generative AI within your organizations to accomplish your digital transformation strategies. Let's get started. As a CIO or CTO, you've likely been bombarded over the last 2 years with how you are going to be adapting your digital transformation strategies to take advantage of generative AI and the many new tools that have come out on the scene in 2023 and 2024. And as we look to 2025, you should be evaluating which use cases make the most sense for your organizations so that you can indeed adopt generative AI in a meaningful way as part of your digital transformation strategy. Now, the use case that I'm most excited about is being able to leverage co-pilot programs within our organizations to be able to streamline both hiring new engineers to our organization and training up existing or fresh out of college engineers to be able to quickly be able to produce code which is meaningful for our applications as we strive to execute on our business strategies. Now, these co-pilot tools that are out there enable us to be able to take our existing source code, to be able to leverage the existing ecosystem that we've built around our applications and marry those two things together to help new developers be able to come online quickly to be able to start producing code within our organizations. Now, as I've used these generative AI programs over the last year, and as I've helped other organizations figure out how to use them within theirs, the thing that I've realized most is that while these tools have come a long way in a relatively short period of time, they still have a ways to go. A lot of the logic behind these generative AI co-pilot programs and applications is still lacking in certain areas. So what do you need to do as a CTO or CIO within your organization to be able to find value out of these tools quickly? The thing that you must understand as a leader is that these generative AI tools still require context. You still need developers to understand both what the frameworks that you're leveraging are, so the programming languages, as well as the infrastructure tools and monitoring applications that you have built into your stack so that they have context to be able to marry these things together as they use these co-pilot tools. Now, these co-pilot tools can go a long way towards helping new hires or new developers within your organization to come up to speed quickly by helping them be able to understand the context behind what your applications are doing. And so their summarization capabilities within these generative AI tools is a quick, easy win. As you build an onboarding program for your new hires and your new developers, leveraging these tools can be a way to help them be able to get up to speed quickly. And again, be able to accelerate their value to the business. And once these developers have come online and they start to understand the context behind the ecosystem that you've built within your applications and your organization, then they can be able to start generating useful code. Now, the other thing that I've learned about these generative AI tools is while that, yes, they can create code that we can use as a starting point, oftentimes they do help solve that blank page problem when you're starting out. They lack context. And so building a large language model based off of your source code that is private to your organization is going to be critical as you leverage these tools internally. We don't want our source code, our proprietary information to go out and participate just within OpenAI. So we need to be discouraging that type of behavior by having a large language model that is built into our organization and where we can keep our data private. And certainly there are lots of security concerns that we should be considering as we embark on this AI journey. But once we have this large language model that's built into our organization that's private to us, that's where these tools can start to really accelerate our ability to execute. And so again, we have to teach these developers context within the organization. Now, the one area that I have seen these tools be able to quickly accelerate is that typically developers are thinking about the code they're writing. What is the sprint item or the Jira item that they are executing against in that particular sprint or delivery cycle or PI? And so they get focused on the code, and they might not necessarily understand how that code is going to need to be integrated with the other parts of the application, whether we're dealing with a monolithic application or a microservices-based application. We have to be able to understand the entire stack and the entire ecosystem that we're dealing with. And that's where these generative AI tools really start to shine, because we can make them aware, again, with our private data model, of all of the interactions that we have within our application and within our own organization's ecosystem, so that when they're writing code, they can check that code against the other applications or microservices that have been written to make sure that we have all of the hooks. So if you're leveraging a tool like the Elk Stack, you can make sure that you are writing code that naturally hooks in and applies the same log format that the rest of your applications are using, so that it naturally integrates with that Elk Stack. Monitoring tools like Prometheus, making sure that the code that we've written has the correct hooks built into it so that our Prometheus system can grab those metrics to be able to create alerts and whatnot, so that we can build appropriate Grafana dashboards. This is that context that a brand new developer, either brand new out of college or brand new to our organization, might be lacking. And that's where these generative AI tools can really start to show value within our organizations. And beyond just this code generation that we're looking at for our new developers, whether they're new to the organization or, again, like a new college grad, is the ability to leverage these generative AI tools to evaluate our existing source code and make best practice recommendations. And then going beyond that, being able to write test use cases and fault injections so that we can start to think longer term. How are we working against our applications? How are we making sure that they are fault tolerant, that they adhere to our business continuity plans that we've created within our organizations? That's another area where I found generative AI to be able to show quick wins within organizations to show long-term value. Oftentimes, development organizations lack around the test use cases that they write for their CI/CD pipelines to make sure that the code that they're writing is not going to break another service or an API integration with another part of the application or applications that our organizations are running. And so leveraging generative AI to evaluate our code, to write new test cases for that code, and then also write scripts or tests that are actually injecting faults into our code to be able to see how our error handling is taking place within our organizations is another quick win that we as CIOs or CTOs can quickly show value to the business and to the board that, yes, we are embarking on a generative AI journey. We are aligning it to our digital transformation that we're undergoing, and here's how we're showing value out of these efforts quickly. So these are just a couple of the use cases that I've seen over the last 12 or 15 months as I've embarked on this generative AI and as I've helped other organizations embark on their own digital transformations and leveraging generative AI as the space has quickly changed within these last 12, 18 months. As you look to 2025 and are trying to determine on a strategic plan to be able to leverage generative AI within your organizations, I encourage you to reach out to Virtual Elephant Consulting. Look to our fractional CTO services to see how we might be able to provide guidance and leadership within your organizations so that you can embark on a successful generative AI journey this next year. As always, if you're enjoying this content, please make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we will be publishing more information as we look to 2025 to help you within your organizations execute on your digital transformation initiatives. I look forward to talking to you next time.